we'll be showing our Piper 140, which is a full G3X system. And that's all a 1965 aircraft that looks like it's a 26 aircraft. I remember my first air show that I went to with my dad. We won't say how long ago it was, but I remember Patty Wagstaff flying. We love Ghost Rider air shows when he writes Sarasota in the sky.
Coming to you from a hangar somewhere near the flight line, where the good times are just starting to roll, this is the Future in Flight podcast. So, Sun and Fun, it's that time of year again. The aircraft are polished, the boots are up, and Lakeland, Florida is the center of the aviation universe. And when Sun and Fun rolls around, there's one team that doesn't just show up. They show up deep, 25, 30 people deep, golf carts overflowing, smiles for miles. That's Sarasota Avionics and Maintenance. Today I'm sitting down with Kirk Fryar, head of Sarasota Avionics, and we're going everywhere, and I mean everywhere. From what Mosaic could mean for your panel, to installing avionics in Bangladesh, to flying a Bonanza across Brazil for 8 hours and still not leaving the same state. We're talking G3X upgrades, the tech that could save your life in the backcountry, and the Patty Wagstaff story that'll make you smile. So pull up a chair, grab some shade, and let's get into it. What's going on over there, Kirk? Are you guys getting ready?
Oh yeah, we're getting ready. We're packing the booth. We're packing our showcases, sending out emails to each other and what our plan is this week. We always have a big meeting to advertise our show specials, what's coming up, what's the manufacturers going to be giving discounts for, so everybody's on the same page. We want everybody in the booth that's working the booth exactly on the same page. We have an outside booth. We'll be showing our Piper 140, which is a full G3X system, and that's always a 1965 aircraft that looks like it's a 2025 aircraft, so 26 aircraft. Kind of fun to do. We're getting ready. It's a huge process. People don't realize the process that we have to go to get ready for these shows. It's a team effort. I mean, you can't do it alone, especially with this size that we do it. I mean, we've got 30 people, 25 people involved on making this show happen. Everybody's got their own part that they have to do. And thank God we have some great people on our staff that allow us to do that and make it a productive show every year.
Well, you guys do a fantastic job. You mentioned the 25 or 30 people that you have, and I just wonder how you fit them all in a golf cart every year, because that's how I see Sarasota Avionics travel, is just a mob of people on one golf cart, smiling, hooting, and hollering, just having fun.
We try to make it so much. Everybody in the company, we have roughly 75 employees, right? Everybody's like, I want to go to Sun and Fun this year, until they get there and they see how hard the work it is, because you're at the booth 8 hours of the day. But we try to make it fun for everybody. We try to, afterwards we go see the airplanes after the show and relax and talk. And it's all about that camaraderie that we try to create, which makes it fun. Yes, it's hard work and it's hot, and then you get sweaty all day, and then you get asked the same question 28,000 times in the day. I love it. It just gets me going. Because Sun and Fun is our boost off. What's that?
Come for the plane, stay for the people. You know how it is.
That's it. Just when you think you've had enough and you're like, I'm not going to do it again this year, and you're like, and it gets about 2 weeks before it, and you're like, oh yeah, it's time. It's time to go see those jets fly by. And I remember my first air show that I went to with my dad. We won't say how long ago it was, but I remember Patty Wagstaff flying, and I was like, oh my God, she was so amazing. I was probably 10 or 11 years old. Me and my dad camping underneath his Mooney. I think where the vintage airplanes now is where the campground was at the time. I remember that when I was a kid, and I remember seeing Patty, and I was like, wow, this girl is amazing. And then now we sponsor her, 40 years later, we sponsor her. And I told her that story one day, and she was like, really? And I was like, yeah, Patty, you were my idol back then. Thought you were the coolest thing flying. So she was doing these flips and loops, and yeah, and she still is today. Yeah.
The cool factor has not tarnished at all. I mean, Patty Wagstaff is still high among the people.
She actually just invited my son she does the unusual attitude training over there in St. Augustine.
Sure.
And she just invited my son, because I obviously want my son. He's working for us now, so I want him safe as practical. So I said, Patty, will you train my son for unusual attitude training? She's like, yeah, send him on over. So she spent like 3 days with him, training him for unusual attitude training, which is critical for, I think young pilots or any pilots to go over there and take that course. It's amazing for her. So Yeah.
And who better to take it with than Patty Wagstaff and her crew? It's not just Patty. She had Doug Litton working over there. Just some
Yeah,
great
Doug. Yeah.
people. Doug is just he's out on his own now, turning flips and his own extra. So you're going to get quality people when you go with Patty.
Sure.
And she's so awesome.
Right. Yeah. So doesn't get any better than that.
She's not the only aerobatics pilot that you're
Oh
associated
yeah.
with, correct?
We got Skip Stewart. We love Skip. We got Ghost Rider Air Shows, Nate Hammond, Melissa Burns. We
Those
love
are some of
Ghost
the
Rider Air
top
Shows
ones.
when he writes Sarasota and the sky above there. So Nate,
Great.
he does the night air show too, right? I like to see him in the night air show. He's the
He
best.
brings it heavy in the night air show.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. Great
So
show.
that's Sun and Fun is exciting. Right? It is the way that you kick off the air show season. It is imprinted memories in people for 40 years. So it's no surprise that you'd show up with some really great stuff. Now, what do you have coming into the show? What are you looking forward to?
Well, we're hoping to sell a lot of equipment and create relationships. That's why we go. If we don't sell anything, hopefully we create a relationship so it will create future business or create an impression for somebody to actually go look on our website or call up and say, hey, just give me a quote for this. Now, obviously, we want to sell it there. We give great discounts at the show. The manufacturers allow us to give great discounts at the show, rebates, that sort of thing. We're hoping to buy it at the show, but if not, we can give them a catalog. You can make an impression with them. So maybe 6 months down the road when they finally are buying their new aircraft or upgrading their aircraft, they give us a shot. That's what we're hoping to do.
Making those relationships. And you mentioned the upgrade on some aircraft, some people that may be upgrading aircraft. Let's talk a little bit about some people that may be coming into the market under this new Mosaic. We've got some expansion of that rule. Everybody's asking, what's going on there. And it sounds like, in theory, this could open the market up to not only new pilots, but it could refresh some of these old airplanes, which would need upgrades. What do you see and where do you see that going?
Well, the Mosaic, I don't think it's really going to affect us too much because avionics is such a niche that a lot of people can't do themselves. Some people can, but maintenance-wise, yes, they're going to be able to do it themselves, but avionics-wise, you're still going to have to call somebody like me to figure it out. So I don't think it's really going to affect us too much, but like I said, it's going to be able to maybe get some cheaper equipment, or not cheaper, I wouldn't say, but more economical equipment into the Mosaic aircraft where you couldn't do that before because of now it's going to be a light sport or a different weight class.
Something like a Mooney now could become a Mosaic qualified, an MLSA. So we've got some of these great Moonies out there, and I know you're a Mooney service center, and maybe that thing needs a little bit of a refresh on it. Tell us a little bit about what we could see on a typical Mooney. If you come in that's a little bit older, it's got the standard steam gauges. What could an avionics package look like in that newly upgraded?
Well, I mean, I immediately think of a Mooney with a G3X system. That would be a perfect situation for that aircraft and bring it up to modern technology. Very economical. I mean, you're still going to spend $30,000-$40,000, but compared to a certified TXI system, which would be double that. Even an autopilot, I mean, think about the old Britain systems and those Moonies that, we could get rid of that vacuum system and put this new technology in with solid state servos and electronic stability protection. I mean, there's so much value you're going to get from that, and it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg anymore if that rule does apply to that aircraft. So, I mean, everything's still expensive. I mean, it's anything you buy electronically is still expensive, but to me, safety is it's priceless, right? It's priceless.
Exactly.
When
can't put a price on
you're
safety.
in a stall and that autopilot is going to take you out of that stall automatically. I mean, that's priceless. Or you have this button that if you say you get smoke in the cockpit, you press this one button. I call it the white button. This one button, it's going to take you to the closest airport that it knows that you can land at. In that aircraft, and that system is going to tell you if you can make it to that airport, if you happen to lose an engine or fuel or whatever. It tells you, yeah, you can make it to this airport, but not this airport. Let's try over here. And it's going to take you there, put you in the best glide, and try to get you down safely. It's going to give you much more opportunity to safely get on the ground than if you didn't have the system. So we want all those opportunities in that aircraft to give you the best outcome possible.
Well, that's it. I mean, just imagine now some of these great older aircraft coming in with something like a G3X and a refreshed autopilot system. You effectively have a much more. I mean, you have a modern machine. Once you get your maintenance, your firewall forward, good to go. And there's nothing wrong with this aircraft. Man, it's a great aircraft. You've effectively restored this thing into a beautiful, modern
machine right now with all the great capabilities. And who would have thought 1965, 1970 that there would have been anything close to Autoland? Like that was it's just a dream. But now we
I
have
mean,
that.
when
You
I
can
was
press a
putting in
button,
Garmin
like you
GNS
said.
430s in 1999, I never thought they would have been anything better. I was putting this Garmin 430 and I was like, wow, this thing's amazing. And now look at the technology they have. So I didn't think they would be
Oh,
anything
that's
better than a Garmin 430.
I can agree. That 430 hit the market. It was hot, hot, hot. But now, man, you mentioned 430, and you may as well talk to an archaeologist. It's ancient
Exactly.
technology at this point. We're moving so fast. We're moving so far forward so fast. What do you see coming up in the future? What does avionics look like in the future?
I say that I asked that question quite a bit, and I'm just like, what? I'm not an engineer by any means, but I'm just sitting there going, what else could they do? What else is there? But there's always something that they're working on. Garmin will never tell us, or Bendix King, or Aspen, or in any of these manufacturers, they'll never tell us, but they're always working on something. I was funny. I went out to Garmin for a dealer council meeting one time. They invite certain dealers to help them create new things and ask them about the market and stuff like that. And I walked into a room where I wasn't supposed to be in. And it was funny because they were testing. This was before the TXI came out, the new big screen. Obviously everybody knows about it. But I walked in there and I saw it. And they all freaked out. It was crazy. You can't say anything. You don't know what this is. It was hilarious. But they got stuff like that going on all the time. There's skunk works, out there. They got stuff out there that we have no clue whether it comes out to market or not, but they're always working on something for new technology. And that's what helps us in the industry, these avionics shops and maintenance shops, to stay in business with new products and new ideas. They get these guys from MIT and these guys from these crazy engineering schools to create this stuff. It's kind of funny if you see it out in the market for, like iPhones and different things. If you see some stuff out there, you're like, I wonder if that'd be good for airplanes. It's usually coming down the road. It's usually coming down the road. But they're always advancing. I love it that they are always keeping up with that. And but this year, I don't. With this Sun and Fun, maybe by Oshkosh, but this Sun and Fun, I don't really see anything new coming out. But I've had surprises before where they say that, and boom, all of a sudden, hey, we're announcing this new product. A new little product coming out, which is the Nighthawk system. The old manufacturer Sandell. I don't know if you've seen that. It's a new Nighthawk. It's a new big screen color, but it's like I don't know if you've seen it. It's
No,
like
not yet.
it's like Flight Simulator. Like you're looking at the graphics like Flight Simulator. You're flying the airplane. It will show you the clouds and everything. It's really coul. Yeah, it's a new
Oh,
product coming out called Nighthawk system. They actually
I'm gonna have to
announced
look
it
that up. That's
a year and a half, 2 years ago, and they're obviously it's FAA certification. They're taking a while, but that's kind of the new thing that I've seen. Um, Coming out. But like I said, I'd love to. I'm always surprised when I see there. I'm like, oh, what is this? So, but we will have a Nighthawk system on display at our booth. Yeah, we'll have a Nighthawk system display at our booth. We'll have, of course, the Garmin screens, the GTXs, the TXIs, GTNs, all that stuff. We have the Aspen, Avidyne, of course, all those products on display at our booth. So, please come by and see it, play with the buttons and see, everybody has their own way that they like and feel and that they feel comfortable in the cockpit and how it works and how they interface to it. So no better way to come to a show where it's all there and you can sit there and play with everything and see what you like.
punch the buttons. That is the come by, share a smile, punch the buttons. That's really what Sun and Fun is all about. And I know there are a lot of people that come by and punch my buttons at Sun and Fun. I can tell you that right now. A few of them ahead of the event. But we talk about the really cool things that have come out in avionics. We talk about the evolution. How do you stay not in front of it? How do you stay concurrent with that as an organization that does installs, as an MRO?
So a lot of, I go to a lot of the air shows, as many as possible, like Aircraft Electronics Association, Twin Cessna fly-in, Pilatus fly-ins, King Air fly-ins. I go to all these fly-ins, and usually that's where I learn about the products. And we go to recurrent training. Obviously, at Aircraft Electronics Association is one of our biggest thing that we'll see new products come out. That's where they usually announce new products and let us, the dealers, see them first, learn about them, so we are educated. We can tell the customers about them, and because all the new products, that's where a lot of manufacturers that I have seen in the industry, they don't teach about the product good enough. So when they bring it out to market and they think it's going to be wonderful, well, nobody knows about it because the dealers don't know about it. You've got to let us train. And so when they come to us at the booth and go, hey, I heard about this product, because they announced it on a, Sun and Fun Radio, a magazine, and they're like, well, tell us about it. We're like, we have no idea. And then they look at them like, what? So we need to the dealers have to be educated first before you educate the public. Once we're educated, and then then you can educate the public. But let us educate first, so we kind of know what you're talking about. And we're like, don't dismiss it when they actually come to the booth.
And that's one of those great things about AEA. We say that Sun and Fun is like the kickoff, but there really is a party before the party, man. AEA happens before Sun and Fun, and that is just, man, if you're into aircraft electronics, that's the place to be.
I didn't get to go this year. I was working overseas, but it's always a great camaraderie of people in the industry. And once you learn those people and have a beer with them and sit down and talk and just create a friendship with that manufacturer, and it's great. Hey, oh yeah, Kirk, man, I met you at AEA. I want to do this new product, and here, I'll give you a discount. I'll give you the AEA discount. I love that stuff. So we need discounts, just like people, when they come to Sun and Fun, get discounts. We need those discounts because we have to buy test equipment and different things to keep this shop running. I have 5 different shops, so you can imagine all the test equipment we have. So AEA is our Sun and Fun.
Yeah, right. I can imagine how exciting that is for you guys to go and see all the new stuff. And you don't have to work, man. This is actually a vacation.
Exactly. We get to play a little bit.
The after hours business is that is like one of my biggest keys, right? You go to these events because you can have that after hours interaction.
I go to the air shows all around the world too, like Paris Air Show, Dubai Air Show, Air Free Shopping. I've had some good times there. So when everybody's outside the country, there's another level they go to.
I can't imagine. I've had a couple opportunities to go to Aero, and I'm scared, man. Well, let's jump right into that. We've talked about aviation air shows being a global thing, and it really is. We think about the United States just often when we fly around because that's where we are, but you go to Sun and Fun, you go to Oshkosh, big international presence, and you learn that there's aviation outside the bounds of the United States. Tell us a little bit about your experience with that, about going to some of these places and seeing their interaction with aviation.
So we're huge, obviously, in Latin America, South America. We have Brazil, Guatemala, Belize, Paraguay, Argentina, all around South America. We have a huge presence there. We actually have a sister shop in Brazil we're able to service. And Brazil is probably one of the second biggest aviation communities in the world, besides, I think China is number 3. But we travel around the world. We'll do installs around the world. Just finished a Bell 206 in Greece last week. That's where I was instead of AEA. For the Cyprus Air Force. Before then, I was in Bangladesh. We have a contract for 4 aircraft there for a flight academy there. They actually want to come back and do 4 more. Thailand, we've got some quotes for Thailand to do 8 aircraft there. We've worked in Egypt, South Africa, Portugal. Where else have we gone? We'll go anywhere.
Let's take a quick break from this conversation to tell you about one of our wonderful show supporters. This episode of the Future in Flight podcast is brought to you by Sarasota Avionics. For more than 35 years, Sarasota Avionics has helped pilots modernize their aircraft with the latest avionics technology, from custom glass panels and autopilots to complete avionics installations and maintenance. With multiple FAA-certified repair stations across Florida and a team of experienced technicians and pilots, they're dedicated to delivering quality work, reliable performance, and the kind of service pilots trust. Whether you're upgrading your panel, troubleshooting an issue, or planning your next avionics project, their team can help design the right solution for your aircraft. Learn more at sarasotaavionics.com. And now, back to the conversation.
You want us to do a job outside the United States, where sometimes you just can't find the technicians that can do it and do it in the time frame that we can do it in. So just like the Bell 206, we were in Greece because we were prepared and we did all the work here. We're able to go there and literally have a downtime on the aircraft for 2 weeks. The job that would normally take, 8 to 10 weeks, we had it only down for 2 weeks. So that's huge for a customer to have that aircraft up and going, and we can have a downtime. The aircraft we did in Bangladesh, that aircraft, we were there for 4 weeks, and I brought a team over there, and we knocked it out in 4 weeks. And crazy atmosphere to do it in Bangladesh, because there is no aircraft spruce. There is no thing. Just order it overnight. We'll get the part. You've got to have everything prepared, everything that you need there, and then take more. So you've got to be very prepared and know exactly what you need for what you're doing. And we work I don't think we actually had to order anything to get it over there. We had it all there, and we were prepared for everything. 4 weeks, turn first power on, boom, good to go. The airplanes, we've sit there watching them on FlightAware now in Bangladesh, and they have flown over 300 hours in a matter of weeks. These guys are just all day now. And then now they've called us back and they're like, oh, wow, we see the value of this now. Because those airplanes that we did, because they have a bunch of airplanes, those airplanes that did, the students only want to use those airplanes because they're the new technology aircraft. So they said, okay, we see the value now. When can you come back? And I'm like, well, I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back too soon because it's getting monsoon season there now. So I don't want to go back there. So
yeah,
the mosquitoes are
you're right.
They're like that. Where it's not a pleasant country, but the people are absolutely wonderful there. Just wonderful people in Bangladesh. So nice.
Great folks. Not a beginner location for sure. I mean, you're at the airport and you hear, hey, it's over by the tiger. They don't mean the Grumman. It's the actual tiger.
We were where we were at is a little city called Rosh Hashanah, and it was around the Ganges River. And one of the guys was like, I want to go ride an elephant, right? So literally the week we were there, right across the border in India, like 6 people got killed by an elephant. And we're like, you're not going to go ride an elephant. It was the craziest. It's different there. The food is different. The transportation is different. It's not for a person lighthearted. You got to be a tough, strong individual to go there and stay for 4 weeks and do a job. It's you've got to. If you've never been outside the country, that's not the first country you need to go to.
Well, let's talk about somewhere that is a little bit friendlier, a little bit. I mean, climate-wise and just an experience-wise, all these places are friendly, great areas. There you go. Tell me about Greece and what that was like.
Greece was amazing. We have a great. We've actually done a job for this company before. They're a Textron service center over there, and they get jobs from all around Europe, Pakistan, Middle East, and they'll come to Greece, but they don't have an avionics department there. So they'll bring us over to do the avionics job in Greece. And of course, I don't know if anybody's ever heard of Greece or been to Greece. It's absolutely just amazing. The food is just amazing. They have obviously the great culture there, and it's fairly inexpensive. I mean, when you look at, places around the world, like if you compare it to like Switzerland or Japan, Greece is actually fairly inexpensive, and there's always something to do. We got to go see a soccer game. We got to go to see the Acropolis, and got to see all that fun stuff. We got to eat the just most wonderful food in the world, and the greatest people. Is just everybody is so nice and just tries to help you. Now I can't understand their language. Man, you can't even read. You read the sign on the building. You're like, is that an electronics store or hardware store or So it's fun because I love just getting out there and traveling and meeting new people and seeing the world and just trying to understand cultures. So, but the people are great. They are very, they're governed by EASA, which is very strict compared to what the FAA. The FAA gives us a lot of, basically a free will and lets us choose what we want to do and what we need to certify. Whereas the EASA, they are just very strict. So we have to be very tight guideline on what we can put in, and everything's got to have paperwork, and that portion of it is not fun. But Greece is just absolutely beautiful. The most beautiful country in the world that I've ever been to working, South Africa. Absolutely gorgeous. It's a little scary. Great aviation
culture too.
Great aviation culture, but man, what a beautiful place. Especially if you get up into the northern part of South Africa, north of Johannesburg, Pretoria, in that area, Tanzania. Absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And if you're lucky enough to go see some animals over there, that was pretty cool. So
Europe is wonderful. Great aviation going on over there. The most dangerous thing in Greece, the ouzo.
Yeah, we actually had quite a bit of that, and we have found they have the Amstel beer there, but it's obviously spelt in Greek. So that was a really good beer. We finally figured that, this is Amstel. You couldn't understand it, but we had a great time. We had a great time. The soccer hooligans at the soccer game were fantastic. That was fun, just enjoying that. But when we were over there, it was so cold. I never thought Athens would be that cold, but it was like almost snowing one day. It was so cold.
Wow.
That's the first job we went over there in 2018, I believe. In January, and it wasn't as cold. This year, we were there in March, and it was freezing cold. So I had to double up. Tell you what, another big market out there is Thailand is really coming along with aviation. We've gotten quite a few jobs and quotes from Thailand. They're really kicking up in general aviation wise. A lot of 172s, 182s. They're really training a lot of pilots there. So, but the best
Fantastic.
place, the
Very
best food in the
prolific country.
world, best food in the world, Brazil. Amazing. Brazil is
I knew you were going. Knew that was coming.
it's just it's a totally different world there. But I love going to Brazil, obviously, and the food and the people and just the social life there is completely different from anywhere else in the world. Always a party going on in Brazil.
Brazil is a really great country. If you're looking to go and experience another country, maybe you haven't been or you're not too internationally traveled, Brazil is such a great country. So friendly. The food is great. The place is vast. I mean, Brazil
Oh,
is
it's
huge.
huge, huge, huge. We flew. I've flown some general aviation there, and I've flown for 8 hours in a Bonanza and still not even out of the same state.
Whew, man, that's big.
It's
That's
a
big.
big country. It's people don't realize how big Brazil is. People realize, I mean, you can fit the United States inside of Brazil, and
Oh, sure.
the culture there, and it's kind of cool. You can go there, and obviously we have friends there that will fly you around, fly you in the Amazon, fly you down to the southern part of Brazil and see some of the great beautiful tourist spots there. I mean, Rio, we have helicopter pilots that we sell equipment to, and then they fly around. I've got to fly around the Christ Redeemer twice now with our customers. He said it's the only way you can see Jesus Christ's feet is in a helicopter.
Epic.
Because you can't see from
Ah,
the bottom.
right
It's
on.
really cool place.
And with Brazil being such a huge, diverse country, man, you can see there's beach and there's mountains, there's swamp, there's just everything, and the food is indicative of that. Some of the greatest beef and a great aviation
It's
culture,
huge,
really, really
huge
just
experimental
growing.
light sport market. It's huge down there. A lot of RVs down there. A lot of Cessna 310s, 172s. It's. I mean, we go to a couple different air shows down there every year, and I'm just amazed how many people come out to aviation there. And if you go to Sun and Fun, you'll see how many Brazilians are there. There's just in vast numbers of Brazilians, and just if you see one and got the little green and yellow flag, say bon dia to them, and they love it. So good morning, bon dia, and they just love that, and just be friendly to them and just welcome them to our country, because they're the same way. When I go there, they welcome me to their country. So they do anything I can't for me when I'm there, and I do anything for them when they're here. And they love to spend a lot of
Sure.
money.
They are definitely spending money on aviation down there. It's so let's talk a little bit real quick about flying in some of these places that are a little bit remote, and sometimes that requires the backcountry gear. You're going to need some type of survival
Sure.
gear. You want to have these kits that are put together. Tell us a little bit about maybe a typical kit or some of the things that you offer that would really fit that mission.
Well, I always, when I travel, definitely when I travel out into these places, I always carry my personal locator beacon. Garmin has a really nice one, that I always carry with me, and you're able to track me, and I can give certain people access to track me. Spot, I believe, has one. But you want one that's rugged, and maybe you can text from. I believe the Garmin, they're all a subscription based. They're worth, everybody's like, oh, they're $300, $400. Who cares? If if you get saved and you're out there in the middle of a wilderness and you're flying backcountry and you have a problem, and boop, one button and you're safe. That's how much is that worth? I'm sure it's worth $400, right? I'm sure it's worth it. Um,
100%. You would pay 10 times that if you needed it at the moment and it were available.
right. Also, little people don't understand, but even a Garmin watch, right, for direction. If you're trying to walk out, Garmin has the new this Mach 1 Pro thing has a battery life for like 45 days. It's the craziest thing. I've been traveling to Greece. I still haven't charged it back from Greece, and I've made two flights
Wow.
with it, international flights. So it's tracking GPS. You know how the old D2 watch would be out in a day. 45
Yeah.
days. It's the craziest thing. And you can sit there and do GPS with it right there on your watch. So just little things like that. And you're backcountry and you're out and you're like, oh, I got my watch. I know where I'm at. And you can track out of that, or at least get to a river or something that can save your life. You can see it right on the map. It's a color moving map. That little thing right there could save your life. So Obviously, flotation devices, Revere life jacket. We use those quite a bit. I always carry one in my airplane. Rafts, we use the Revere. They've had some trouble since COVID of getting parts, but I think they've got stuff back online now. But always just having I fly to Belize and Guatemala every once in a while, to Mexico, crossing, over there close to Cuba. And I always got my jacket on, rafts ready to go, and it's better to have that on you ready to go than you're sitting there searching for it. So, but POB,
It's all
watch, and right on our website. Everything's right on our website, all available. So
Let's say they're listening and maybe they are on the drive home. For some reason, they missed what the website was at the booth. Give us the website they can go to and visit.
yeah, www.sarasotaavionics.com. So 2 A's in the middle. Pretty
And
simple.
now they've seen
Sarasota
that.
Avionics.
They've seen the great logo. Now's their day to stop by. This is it. I've seen them on the website. I've heard Kirk give all this great information. I got to stop by and see them. Where are they going to do that?
So we're at Hangar C at Sun and Fun. We sponsored that hangar. You'll see our sign on the building, Hangar C. And then we have an outside booth too. Like I said, we have the Piper 140. We'll have a little wagon there that we'll be selling refreshments as well. So stop by. We have a big booth, a big tent. Come grab some shade during the day. My mom and dad will be out there. They're 83 years old. My dad just loves to sit out there and talk aviation. He'll talk to anybody about it, My mom's out there, just a good old Southern woman, loves to cater to people and give a drink and catalog and just come out there and talk to them. They love that. Just love to sit out there and talk. And then we're inside the booth, so if you're ready to really want to purchase something or talk about an upgrade on your panel, grab one of the guys inside the booth. We'll walk you in. Sometimes we'll go out and sit outside and get away from the hustle and bustle inside there and the noise, and go sit out there and enjoy the shade and have a drink and just talk about airplanes and avionics and what would you like to do to your aircraft.
Well, that's one of Kelsey's favorite things to do at Sun and Fun is talk to your mom. She's looking forward to that. So really excited.
Yeah.
So
we'll see how long they're able to do it. It's a tough ride for them during the week, but they love every year. They love just helping us out.
Yeah, we're going to have plenty of sun and fun this year. It sounds like no shortage of both. Looks like it's going to be just another,
weather look good all
great
week.
Year. It does. The 15 days looking pretty good. Maybe a little bit of,
tornadoes.
Of rain to knock down the dust. No dust, no
Right.
tornadoes this year. We have done a lot of heavy lifting, a lot of great stuff, talked a lot about some great aviation topics. Let's do 3 fun questions, Sun and Fun style, real quick. Are you ready?
Okay, let's shoot.
All right. Now, Sun and Fun is a great event. Got a lot of great things going on. You get out, you see the hangars, it makes you hungry. There's a lot of hunger that comes with Sun and Fun. What's your favorite thing to eat there?
Favorite thing to eat at Sun and Fun? Well, I got a little leg up on people because we're a sponsor, so we get a meal every day from the sponsorship tip. But my other favorite thing is they actually used to sell it, but I don't see them there anymore. There was clam chowder, nice cold beer from the beer tent.
My favorite thing to eat as well, a nice cold Mick Ultra.
Now I hear this year they're changing one of the big hangars to a food court out by the campground. Did you hear that?
Look at you promoting the swamp. You read my mind. No matter what we're talking about here, you've got to go check out, no matter what your favorite food is at Sun and Fun, there's going to be a new venue, Hangar E, the swamp.
And it's right beside the swamp. There's a swamp right there.
I can't wait to go in there and see what the food is. I'll even have a cold beer with you in there, my treat for all this. Now let's hit our second question. Let's say we're walking around Sun and Fun. We see some of these great aircraft. Let's hone in on the vintage section. Kirk, what is your favorite aircraft over there in the vintage section?
A CB.
Oh, nice.
I just love the way they look. I've always wanted one, but never could really find one or do one. But I've always wanted to ride in CB. I don't know. I saw it in a movie one time when I was a kid, and I was like, oh, I'd love to have one of those. But yeah, that's my favorite, probably to look at, and it's just such a unique aircraft. Is a CB, so I just like it.
Great unique answer. That's a fantastic one. First time I've ever gotten that. Last question. Sun and Fun is the place where everybody shows up. It is the place where everything happens. Now, that means that a lot of great VIPs are going to show up, a lot of cool people. If you could pick one person to fly with at Sun and Fun, who would that be?
That's a good question. My favorite was I used to love to fly with Gene McNeely. He passed last year.
There you go.
And God, I loved flying with Gene. He was so cool. Such a smooth guy, I'd love to fly with Gene.
One more flight with Gene would be pretty damn good.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be good.
It's a fantastic answer. We're gonna leave it right there and honor Gene. If we could have one more flight with Gene, that's who we would take. And what an exciting thing we've been doing. And if anybody's here at Sun and Fun and they hear this, they want to check us out, definitely come by, check out Sarasota Avionics. You'll see them in Hangar C. It's my favorite hangar. I know it's got this really great recognizable logo on it. Come by,
Great.
Check out everybody at the booth. You may have to wait a minute because the line is usually pretty stiff over there. I mean, you talk about not for beginners. You got to wait a second at the line.
Yep, sometimes we're 2 or 3 deep sometimes. So Thursday, because just told me we're doing, Melissa Burns is doing autograph signing. So Thursday at the booth. So Hangar C, come see one of the young up-and-coming aerobatic pilots, flies the Edge 540. She is a daredevil, and you will see her fly. She's a rocket. She's a rocket, man.
So what time is that on Thursday?
We'll have it on our social media, so you'll see it on the social media.
That's going to do it for this one. Huge thanks to Kirk Fryar and the entire Sarasota Avionics crew for spending some time with us. If you're out at Sun and Fun, make sure you stop by Hangar C. You can't miss the logo. And check out their outside booth, too. They've got the Piper 140 with the full Garmin G3X system on display, show specials, and some of the friendliest folks on the field. Kirk's mom and dad might even hand you a cold drink themselves. And if you're not at the show, head over to SarasotaAvionics.com. That's 2 A's in the middle, and see what they can do for your aircraft. Sarasota Avionics and Maintenance is a proud supporter of the Future in Flight podcast, and we're so grateful for their partnership. Now, if you enjoyed this episode, do us a favor. Hit subscribe wherever you're listening, and if you've got a second, leave us a review. It makes a bigger difference than you'd think. Until next time, we'll see you out there and up there.